Hey guys, welcome back to the 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom course. In this step, I'm going to be breaking down the need to know parts of TradingView. Now, with that said, on YouTube and also on our website on thebettertraders.com, we have a course called Chart Basics. That's a deep dive into everything that's on TradingView, and it's free. So if you want to know more about TradingView and up your skills, that is a great course. It's thick, it's long, it's a good course. So you can watch that one, but we're just going to go over the need to know parts of TradingView. So in this step, we're going to do a quick run through, and it should be a short step compared to the last one. So are you ready? Good. Take out your pad of paper, whatever you need, turn off your phone, put on do not disturb mode, and get ready to go. When we go to tradingview.com, you need to make an account, of course. And before you do that, do not feel at all obligated to get a paid subscription to TradingView. It is the last thing that you should pay for in the scheme of things. Again, the first one should be you should make back your course fee, and then you should invest in a subscription to 3 Commas, and then the TBO if you're using it and it's helping you, and then TradingView. But you don't have to get TradingView, a TradingView subscription right off of the bat. It's okay. With the free version, you can do quite a lot, and I'll show you. So here we are on my TradingView account, and we're looking at a layout. This looks just like how it does in 3 Commas Smart Trade when we're looking at the TradingView terminal, except now it's a dedicated window. It is the site, like it has everything, and a lot of stuff that we didn't have before on the other version that 3 Commas has, although it does have the toolbar on the left-hand side. So the layout that we're looking at right now is up here, and it's saved as 15 minutes. In the free version of TradingView, you are allowed 1 saved layout. I recommend making it a good layout and something that you will reference a lot, because the benefit of having a layout is that every single chart you'll look at when you open up TradingView will have the settings for this layout. If you want to know more about what's available on TradingView, you'll have to go to your subscriptions, and then you can scroll down to see what is available here in the charts and all of the technical analysis and stuff like that. The main thing you need to know is that you are able to do quite a bit. You're able to set alerts. You're able to have 1 active alert at a time. I wish it were more, but it's not my platform. And you are able to use the screener. You're able to get access to data. And for trading, no, that's not what we really want. We can have a watch list. We can have at least a flagged symbol there. And we also have access to TradingView on the mobile app and also desktop. But what we really want to know is about up here where it shows us our charts. So we can have 1 chart per tab, which means we can't have multiple devices. We can only have 1 saved chart layout. We can't do custom time intervals. We're stuck with what they have. The other thing is that we can have up to 3 indicators per chart. This is not a problem at all, because we're really only going to use 2 indicators for our charts. But I wanted to show you this just to give you an idea of what the difference is between basic and pro plus, and premium. You don't have to splurge for any of these. And if you watch the course, at the very end, I show you how to get a discount right away. You don't have to wait for Black Friday. You can get a discount right away using TradingView. But there's a hack to it. You got to watch the course. And we're not going to go over that right now. Okay, so here we are on this layout. The first thing that you'll see is that I am looking at Bitcoin on the USD market on a specific exchange, Coinbase. This is the daily time frame that's blue, and I'm looking at everything with the normal candles. I can change my candle type, but we're not going to. Here's my open, high, low, close information, and also the percentage increase and decrease per candle. I have a crosshairs here, and when I hover it over this candle, that section at the top, OHLC, is showing us that the open for the day was at 56,753.19. I don't have to look at the open here and go, where is it over here on this side? No, I don't have to do that, especially with a long monitor where you're going. You just have to look up here. So it's very easy to understand candlesticks. It's not that tricky. So we're going to talk about that first. So this green candlestick is showing us a bullish candle. It means that the price started here. This is the open, which is the fat end of the candle, and it closed up here at the fat end that's up top. Then we have these two lines that are below. This is a lower shadow or a lower wick and an upper shadow or an upper wick. The difference between the green and the red candles is that green opens on the bottom and closes at the top, whereas red opens at the top and closes at the bottom. Now, this may not make sense looking at it in the past, so let's look at it happening right now. Today, Bitcoin is up 2% or so on the daily, which is great. And it's moving higher, which is exciting. Good. So maybe we'll make 60K today, sometime soon. So we can see for today's price action right now, this is perfect too. And I'm going to zoom in so we can see the candle a little bit better. Today opened at the price of $57,359.51, and the close is going to change. The close is showing us that it's updating every time the price moves or increases. So it's at 58,659, 74, 72. It's going to change and update a lot. Over here on the right side, you can also see that I have the price showing up here by default. If you want to be able to see that, click on this gear, go to labels, and go to symbol last price label. We can also enable this, which we should, indicator last value enable. And if you want to know the names of things, you can click this and it'll let you know that there's the volume. There's the volume's moving average. Oops, and labels. And also no overlapping labels. So I don't want labels to be on top of each other. That's basically what it means. My chart view right now, by default, for me, is logarithmic. I love a log scale just because it's so much easier on the eyes. Looking at this chart, it looks so much scarier than it really is because this is a linear chart and we don't want linear, we want logarithmic. This is what we're used to seeing. Most people that chart and trade use a logarithmic scale. It's just a little bit better in a lot of ways. So we can see that we have the price here and we have an idea of where the price is and this countdown right there. This countdown is letting us know how many hours are left in the trading day. Because Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are a 24/7 market, that means that we have 21 hours left. So the market just opened up. The time may be different for you. I live in Japan, so I have it set to UTC or Universal Time Code +9. If you need to update it for where you live, you can go ahead and change it. Let's get to the fun stuff. Indicators. Indicators are simply a way for us to interpret information using math. So we have an indicator that's already on the chart. And the basic one that is on every single chart is volume. But yours doesn't look like mine. Let me go back to the normal one. Ugh. I say ugh because this is so unhelpful. The default version or not default version, but the default setting for volume is that all of these volume bars will match the color of the candle. It's deceptive. It's deceptive because we know this candle to be bullish on this day right here on October 1st. But in reality, there's probably a lot of selling going on too. The volume's not showing us selling. It's just showing us how much buying and selling happened in one day. And if I look over on the left side, where we see volume, then I can see that there was 25,000 Bitcoin bought and sold on Coinbase on October 6th. And on this day, the 7th, there was 15,000 Bitcoin bought and sold. I don't know how many were specifically bought and sold. It's not going to show you that. So for that reason, I like to change the color of this because it's not useful the way it is right now. So I'm going to double click the volume. And if you don't like doing that, you can go up here to the gear setting. I thought so, but apparently not. And we're going to go here, not to inputs, but to style. In style, we're going to click here where it says growing. And I'm just going to make this white, falling, white, There we go. And I like to use dark mode, by the way. You're probably like, wait, this is hurting my eyes. Up here, this is your, this is like your hamburger menu, which is really what it's called. And right here, you can change it from light theme to dark theme. I like dark color theme a lot, as you can tell. So this is still a little bit bright for me, and I can change it to any color. I can also decide that I want it to be not so bright. I just want it to be at 20% brightness, or rather 20% opacity. There we go. So now it's nice and opaque, and it's visible, but it's visible enough. It's not getting in the way of things. And now I'm going to enable my volume moving average, and I want this to pop out. So I'm going to use yellow. I can also change the thickness of this line. There's no real need to, but I can. And I can also change its opacity as well. And note that I have some saved colors down here, so I can actually make custom colors. I believe I have to hit this plus symbol, and I can have real control over the color. There's no real need to do that, but anyway. So the reason why I want to enable this line right here is this is showing us a 20-day moving average. So this is where we're going to talk about math just a little bit. This line is showing us the volume smoothed out over the last 20 days. So the volume for today, the moving average volume, shows us that it is, on average, there is 12,442 Bitcoin being bought and sold on Binance. On average, it's going to change for today. But in the past, we can see that that number is fluctuating. It's fluctuating between 17 and 9. The reason why this is important is because we need to know the volume for the charts that we're trading. Thinking back to the last one, we were talking about 4, and I'm able to look at any single chart by just typing. I just typed in FOR USDT, and that's how I bring up a new ticker. There are also these different categories. So if I just type in 4, I might get all of these stocks, which I don't want, and I just want to focus on crypto. So here you go, 4 USDT. So now there is a big difference. There has been 141 million 4 traded in the last, or on a moving average. So some days, like this day, the price was pumped in a huge way, so that the trading, the buying and selling for this one day was 2.386 billion 4. But the days before it, 41 million. So the moving average lets us know that there are some spikes in here, but it tells us that even though that there are days with not as much volume, we can actually put more volume into the chart and probably get it filled with a limit order and close it out. So that's why it's important to use limit orders. Let me go back to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is making its move right now. This is fun. So this is not pre-recorded. I'm obviously doing this right now. So I'll try to stay focused, but it's okay because I have all my trades going. Like everything is set by 3 commas, which is nice. Ding. So we have one indicator here, and that is our volume. So we're allowed 3. So we're going to add another indicator. We can go up here to indicators, or we can just hit / on a keyboard, which is a lot easier. And when it pops up, if you don't have any favorites, nothing's going to be here. But you can see that I have some indicators that are already here, as well as the TBO and some TBT forecaster. So you need to go down to invite only scripts and scroll down to find the TBO trending breakout indicator. This is the one you want. You may not have the TBO Pro or the TBO Backtester or the TBT Forecaster or the TBT Stop Loss Hunting Alert. Those are all the things that we offer. You don't need them all. Taking this course, you get this indicator for 30 days. So I have it starred here. So that way, when I go to favorites, boom, it's right here in my list of favorites. It's nice and easy to access. There we go. To add it to my chart, all I have to do is click it, and there we go. Now that I've clicked it and I've added it to my chart, I can see a lot of information that is probably overwhelming. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about the TBO in this step. I'm going to take a whole step of this course just to talk about the TBO, but I want to show you how to add indicators. We can manage our indicators over here, as well as the price. When I hover my mouse over, I get an option to hide the price or show it. That's weird with the eye swirling around. And I also get some options here. I can also hide the volume and I can hide the TBO as well. So we've been looking at everything on the daily time frame, as we can see by that blue D. If I want to change the time frame to get a better idea of what we're looking at, I want to get a closer look, all I have to do is type in some numbers. If I type 30, that will automatically bring up the 30-minute chart. And I can see, oh, there's been an explosive candle in the last hour. So just a little bit ago, because right now it's what, 11:41. So Bitcoin's making a move. It's moving up higher. That's great. And we can also change the time up here as well. Now, you won't be able to type in random stuff like 4 seconds or 1 second. I have the premium version of TradingView, so I can see everything. I get a lot more data, but that's mainly because I need all the alerts for all the crazy stuff that I do. So just because I have access to the 1 second time frame does not mean that I'm using this for trading ever. It's just interesting. So the time frames that I suggest you to use and to focus on are the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, the daily time frame. If you go up here to the drop down menu, you'll see that 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour daily, those are there because I've starred them. I can easily just take those off and favorite my 30-minute time frame, go to hours, and go to days. So all these starred time frames are going to show up automatically up here. So now I have 30, 1 hour, 4 hour daily. But honestly, it's a lot easier just to go 1H, 1 hour, 4H, 4 hours, 1D, 1 day. Okay, so that's the easiest way to navigate your time frames using TradingView. It's just a type. And again, to look up charts, we can just type in the trading pair like this to look at Litecoin to see how Litecoin is doing on KuCoin. You'll notice that there are lots and lots and lots and lots of exchanges. So you want to be specific about the exchange you're looking at, because if I go to Timex, it's going to look very different compared to an exchange with lots more trading volume, like Coinbase. So be specific. The other thing that is really useful to know how to do in TradingView, and we're going to be doing a lot of this in the account builders section, is drawing. We can still draw. We can draw a ton. So over here are all of our drawing tools. So if we click on this arrow to expand it open, we can see that some of these things are starred. This is really cool because down here, I can bring up my menu of all of my favorites. So I don't have to go over here to draw a very happy face. And that, and that, and that, and that. And I can use all of my key commands too, like Command Z or Control Z is undo. Drawing trends is something that I do often. The easiest way to draw trend lines with a Mac is hold Option T, and that automatically enables this, and I just click and click. Now I have a couple of settings here that you may not want, and that's okay. So let me just go into the settings and show you what I'm talking about. All I have to do to go into the settings is I just click on this line, and I can see that I have this floating menu that I can move around. I can change the color of the line if I want to, the thickness, the quality of it, and I can add text to this line, and I can change the coordinates and all that stuff, but we're really not going to do too much of that. What we really want to be able to do is draw our trend lines horizontally. So on a Mac, we're going to do Option T to draw all these lines, to draw these trend lines. And I'm going to fix this because this is really annoying me. There we go. And sorry, mine is also extending to the right because I like to extend the right line. It just makes it easier to see long-term trends like that. On a PC, I believe it's Control T. The reason I'm saying I believe it is because my keyboard has both Mac and PC keys on it because I have a Mac and a PC, but I rarely use the PC. So I could be super wrong with this, but I know for sure on a Mac it's Option T. I'm sorry, PC people, but I'll let you know in a little pop-up in the video. Another thing that'll be helpful is the magnet tool. I can press and hold Command on Mac, and it will automatically lock to the open, high, low, close values. So this is really helpful to get accurate chart drawings, to see little things like this. So it's pretty handy to have that tool. I believe with PC, you have to hold down Control to get that same ability. But the ones that I use the most, honestly, I'm going to hide my favorites, is Option H or Alt H to draw my horizontal lines, and Alt or Option V to draw my vertical lines, of which I can change the style for all of these, the opacity, I can add text, all that stuff. I can even move it around. For all of our horizontal lines like this is going to be so important when we do A/B trading because this is what we're going to be using to establish our support and resistance. We can even see it in action right here. We can see that the price of Bitcoin has wicked a lot into this area. And when we look at the wicks, they're important, but we want to look at the long bodies. And the long bodies, which sounds kind of weird, I know, but the long bodies are mostly here on the daily. So this proves to be strong resistance. Where is our price fighting to get above right now? Not that hard. And it even wicked above it. So Bitcoin can definitely break above it, but I bet you it's going to have a hard time doing this today. Option H or Alt H, the best thing ever to draw as many of these as you want. And you just move your cursor around and you can literally just do whatever you want. It's fantastic. But if you realize, I don't know what's happening anymore, trash can, that removes all drawings. I personally don't want to do that because I have lots of drawings that are probably hidden. So I'm just going to use Control Z or Command Z to undo everything. And then I can click my last one and delete. So this top menu up here shows us all of the trading symbols that I have in this watch list titled MP. I wonder what that stands for. Down here, I have this actually hidden, but you can drag it up and down. So this is showing you a couple of things. Remember on 3Comma's Smart Trade Terminal where there was a trigger for signals? Right now, it's telling us that according to TradingView's metrics, which are all of these technicals, Bitcoin is a buy for moving averages. Oscillators, it's neutral, and it's a buy, summarizing it for the daily time frame. This is going to change from hour to minute to month. It's just take it with a grain of salt. It's useful, kind of. This is almost like the order book, almost kind of, sort of. This is showing us the days range, the 52-week range. So we're actually above it. We're doing pretty good. And it's letting us know all of the buying orders that are happening here. Buying and selling, buying and selling. Even though we can view these technicals, we can't view an order book without going directly to an exchange. So we're kind of out of luck right now, but it's okay. We don't really need it. We have the TBO and we have TradingView. We're doing okay. The other thing to take note of, I'm gonna hide that, is that we can add any single chart that we want to our TradingView watch list right here. So I can hit the plus symbol to add a symbol, and I just have to type it in. I'm going to go back to 4. There's no reason why. I can just hit this and right here, add to watch list, and it adds it for me. Boom. There we go. I can also click on a chart, go to Litecoin on the USD chart on Coinbase, and hit Option W or Alt W on PC and add it to the watch list. If I don't like it anymore, just hit that little X on the right side. You can see here my watch list, I have just symbol, last, and change. You might have more. And if you want to remove that, go to the settings And here you can see the actual value change, the volume traded, and extended hours. We don't really need that. Or we can change it from a ticker to a description to let us know what we're actually looking at instead of just the trading ticker or the trading symbol. With the free version of TradingView, you can't import or export watch lists. I'm sorry. And I say that in advance because of the Better Crypto Scanner being so awesome. You're going to want to import something like that, but you can't. Sorry. I'm sorry. But it's out of my control. But it's one reason to invest in TradingView. Okay, so alerts. I'm going to click on this, but you're not going to see anything. All my alerts are set up here for different purposes, either to remind me about something, to trigger 3 commas bots. Yeah, like it's fantastic. And I have 400 available. Sorry, again, premium. With the free version, you only get 1. Sorry. It's okay. But that's, again, a good reason why it's important to focus on just one chart or one trade at a time. It's okay. But you can still set up the alerts. And I'll show you how to do that now. In the alert window, I have a lot of options and a lot of things to do. And I'm not going to get into it in this course because we're not going to be using alerts. You're going to be looking at the charts for no more than 15 minutes a day and placing your trades, waiting, watching, doing all that stuff. So they're not as important, but to make a basic alert, this is showing us that the condition is Litecoin, which is the price of Litecoin. When it crosses this value or this value, kind of like a limit order, right? Or this value, then only one time when it does this, it's going to send me an alert on my smartphone app. It's also going to show a pop-up when I log into TradingView. You can even send yourself an email or a webhook URL. Send an alert to 3 commas. Then you add a message and a name and you hit create and boom, you've created it. So making alerts is pretty easy. You're limited to just one, but it's okay for now. The last thing I want to show you, I should have showed you earlier, but I got carried away with what I'm doing right now, and I'm sorry, but arguably the best thing ever about TradingView is the ability to measure price action, which is really helpful, especially for any type of trading. Because if we want to know, oh, well, how did the TBO perform back here on the daily time frame with Litecoin when it said open along? And if I followed this, I may have been, and I'm measuring right now. So I press and hold shift on my keyboard and I click. And when I do that, it's measuring 2 things, the price difference and also the number of days. So if I had entered along here, it just kept it open until it told me to not have it long anymore. There's a reason why it's called the trending breakout indicator. Trending. I wanted it to be a short video. It is short in comparison to the last one. And in the next step, we're going to be talking about the TBO. I'll be referencing different parts of TradingView and analyzing and breaking down the different parts of the TBO. So inevitably, there will be other things that you haven't learned yet about it. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be great. And I'm super excited to introduce you to the TBO. You are going to love this thing. Okay, are you ready? Great. I'll see you in the next step.